Hey y'all, it's December 6th, which means we're reading in Luke 6. And we enter this chapter with everybody it's the Sabbath day. Jesus is performing miracles, and the Pharisees are very irritated with him because you don't work on the Sabbath day, you don't do this on the Sabbath day, you don't do that on the Sabbath day. And he tells them the Son of Man is the Lord of the Sabbath. But of course, they're not recognizing him as Lord, therefore that means nothing to them. And he asked them later on down, I ask you, is it lawful to do good or to do harm on the Sabbath, to save a life or to destroy it? And with that being said, he heals the man who had been there with a withered hand. And that just enrages the Pharisees. And something that I just had to stop and think about was how the Pharisees were so focused on religion. They were so focused on the rules, on the rituals, on the do's and the don'ts, that they completely missed God in that moment. And Jesus literally was bringing heaven down to earth, and they just couldn't see it because they were just so caught up in how they thought things ought to be, on their perception of things, even though it wasn't truly the heart of God. Moving on, we get into the Sermon on the Mount. Yes. And this is the first sermon that Jesus preaches. It's the most we see him talk in this chapter so far. And there's 3 verses that I just want to go through and read. And it says, treat others the same way you want them to treat you, verse 31. Verse 36, be merciful just as your Father is merciful. Verse 38, more towards the end of that verse, for by your standard of measure it will be measured to you in return. And the theme of this, the Sermon on the Mount, is loving, is forgiving, is going the extra mile for someone. The Matthew goes into a greater depth of the Sermon on the Mount. Luke kind of seems to just paraphrase it and everything. But I know back in Matthew it talks about, if someone asks you to go a mile, go with them too. If someone asks you for your shirt, give them your cloak also. And oftentimes doing for someone isn't just this big show of serving, or this big show of, I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say. It's not this flaunting thing, it's this quiet, yes, I will do this for you, but then but with a good attitude, with a heart of servantness. It's not with this inner dialogue of, well, I don't want to be doing this even though I'm going to do it, Yeah, that's something I kind of need to work on a lot, because not all the time, but there are definitely times I will do something for someone and I'll just be grumbling to myself I don't actually want to be doing this. It's not how Jesus wants us to be, okay? So don't be like me, be like Jesus. Something that I thought of when I was reading through that is Matthew 10 verse 42, and whoever in the name of a disciple gives to one of these little ones even a cup of cold water to drink, truly I say to you, he shall not lose his reward. Oftentimes showing love and showing Jesus to someone isn't giving them the shirt off their back, but giving them the shirt off of your back. It is sometimes just a cup of cold water, something so small, but it is never missed on God. Never. He sees it. And we're not talking about, what is it? It's, I'm forgetting the meaning or the term, but it's when you give this certain amount, God is going to bless you with a certain amount. That's not why we do things for others. It's not to get something in return, and it's not to store up brownie points with God either. It's because it is his heart, and as his children we need to reflect his heart. So that's my thought on Luke 6. Once again, go read it for yourself because there's a lot packed into it.